Hi, we have Piyush Das with us. Piyush is director of PMO, Bank of Montreal, and he's also a mentor at FireAI.
Thanks for inviting Souryojit, and very happy to be here. I'm happy to see. I see a lot of energy, and they all have a common purpose.
We are a seed stage startup, so energy is high all the time. So I have a few questions and we'll try to keep this conversation in today. From this interaction, we would want decision makers such as yourself across industries get a better sense of why they should associate with FireAI. And you as a decision maker in your industry, what did you see that you really liked from FireAI?
So I come from the far west, where we are highly dependent on AI. Where we are quite data driven in terms of decision making. We always see AI as a concept is industry agnostic. We see it in manufacturing, we see in logistics. We use a lot of AI tools at the bank, and the need of AI is increasing more and more every day. And if you're not using AI, you're missing out a lot of good things that it would do to your business. And we've been witnessing this over years. Anyone who's using AI and have more intuitions about what's going to happen tomorrow, they are better planned and they can execute well. Your platform specifically, I can talk about what I saw with your presentation today was it is not only creating dashboard, it is understanding your business well. The first and the most important aspect for any businesses out in the West is data privacy. What I was happy to see is that you're not going into the data sets, you're just highlighting data and you have no access to the data, which is very impressive. Along with that, I think you just guys told me that, you're in a phase of launching intuitive data analysis, predictive data analysis, which is great, which is, I think, you're the first words in this business.
Being a banker, somebody who's working across industries and powering different industries, right? Real estate, cars, automotive. So with a solution like FireAI, and you're somebody who's used traditional tools, BI tools as well, for your dashboarding, generation of insights. What we would like to understand, and for our viewers, how would you like to position FireAI from a use case? How do you think FireAI helps owners across such sectors that I just called out?
What I like about FireAI is that you're not only focusing on large businesses, but you're also focusing on smaller businesses, SMEs, MSMEs, and large corporates. So generally, AI solutions are more tailored for larger businesses, and I think it's more relevant in India that you need to focus on more SME, because that's the growth story in India right now. And I could see the amount of clients. You have clients from every industry. So the use case I feel can be used by anybody in manufacturing, anybody in supply chain, banks, any kind of project management. What I realize is you guys are just not creating dashboards. I think what's special about AI is that you're understanding the business more, and once you understood the business well, the more data you is given to FireAI to work on, the more intuitive it is, trends it can produce for you. All of us are looking for such products where it is intuitive, where it can tell you trends, it can tell you where you're going wrong. We are at a stage where there are a lot of young entrepreneurs trying to set up businesses. I think FireAI will help people at each stage. You guys are going to play a big role.
If you remember when we were going through the entire demos and also the demos we were giving to external companies through the day to day, you might have seen that we used a term OI square, right? Operational Intelligence Infrastructure. Now, as you understand that's the proprietary intelligence layer that today powers our model at the back end, right? And that's how we are able to attain 97% consistency in terms of accuracy and pretty much working as an intelligent employee supporting a CXO in better decision making. So having said that, what would be some of the things that you advise potential customers of FireAI in terms of maybe the top 2-3 things that they need to do at their end before adopting a solution like FireAI?
The most important aspect for a potential FireAI customer is they should know what they want, first of all. Secondly, you're going to always find two types of customer: people who have data, people who don't have data. I think as per our discussion, people who don't have data currently, you're also capable of helping them create data sources and like Tally, and you can integrate it with FireAI. First, they should know what they want. Then they should be open about what do they have to offer you. And I think both of you should be aligning at some point in terms of what can be done with the data that they have. I think sometimes we overpromise and underdeliver, and I don't think that's going to happen with FireAI, because you're committed to help your customers even if they don't have data. Of course, if you have larger data sets and maybe traditional data sets, it helps you more. But at this time, as I said, it's never late to start using AI.
That gives a good message to stakeholders across industries, small, medium, large, right? That Fire AI has something to offer each of them. The idea is for them to know, for them to also have a point of view as to how they can better utilize Fire AI, and for us to also bridge that gap in kind of communicating better in the value addition that we can do, irrespective of whether a client is in manufacturing, retail, e-commerce, logistics, for example. So through the course of our presentation and the demos that we did today, I took you through something which is again unique to Fire AI, and it's the first time a product like that has been built in India for the world, which is our proprietary causal chain network, right? The causal chain, as you understand, is providing the base for diagnostic analytics, and and a layer on top of that becomes our predictive engine, right? Simulators, predictive engines to better forecast across companies, right? So would you like to maybe throw some light on the causal chain network? And let's say you have potential client of yours or a potential partner of yours in Canada, maybe somebody running a trucking network, right? And a trucking network having a large number of trucks with a causal chain kind of network. I think we spoke about how it adds value towards better utilization. Just wanted to hear some deeper thoughts towards that, specifically keeping trucking in mind or automotive sector in mind.
Generally, with the banks, generally most of our customers would provide us monthly reports, half-yearly reports, or annual reports. I think somebody who's using AI platform are more prepared in terms of reporting. That's number one. Number two, also we see underutilization is the biggest problem that we all have in any industry. Fire AI could potentially help logistics companies understand where are they going wrong in terms of their capacity utilization. Area mapping as well, I feel Fire AI could be more intuitive about which part of the country I think we have more business, and also the predictive analytics could tell you, okay, here is where the population is growing. Here's where, I mean, because as you told me, you could also connect two data sets. Like for example, if there's a report from one industry that you get, based on that report, you could pick up data and say that, okay, we are seeing X part of the country growing better. There's more growth in terms of, there's more demand in terms of any retail or anything else. That could help a logistic company understand, okay, I need to grow my network more this part of the country. And also, if I'm seeing an increase in demand in general, how is my preparedness in terms of growth, right? I mean, I think what I could see is that your platform could help businesses also upscale. It will work on trends and always tell you that, okay, there's more demand expected in the time to come, more forecasting. I think appropriate forecasting, because we can forecast anything, but I think this is more data driven, this is more science driven. I think that could help. And also there are a lot of businesses that are family run, let's say, and I would not say they're not successful, but I think all kind of businesses need to get more organized, more in terms of their planning and forecasting. So I think Fire AI could help there. The logistics business in general could be a very high potential customers for you guys.
Thank you so much, Piyush. I think as we scale from India to the world, and obviously the North America market being a focus point for us as well eventually in the coming months, we really appreciate your mentorship, and thank you for the time that you've given us and the team, kind of showing us the vision that you have, and the potential use cases that product like ours has within the North America market. Thank you so much, Piyush.
Thank you for inviting me again, and I'm really excited to see your journey, and I'm very confident of you guys to have a fantastic journey. You guys have a great team. Vipul has done a great job creating this team, and now that Fire AI has you as their growth driver, I think sky's the limit for you guys.
Thank you.